My name is Isabella. I want to tell you my story. It is a story about love, money, and learning the hard way. I grew up in a very big house. My family has a lot of money. We always had nice things. We had cars, drivers, people who cooked for us, people who cleaned the house. From the outside, my life looked perfect. Many people told me, Isabella, you are so lucky. And yes, in many ways, I was lucky. I had good parents. They loved me. They gave me everything I needed. Good schools, nice clothes, holidays in faraway places. But sometimes, the big house felt empty. Sometimes, I felt alone. Money can buy many things, but it cannot buy true friends. It cannot buy real love. I was often shy. I didn't know if people liked me, Isabella, or if they liked my family's money. It made me quiet. It made me careful. I loved reading books. In books, stories were simple. Love was true. People were honest. I wanted a life like that. A simple life. A life with real feelings. When I was 23 years old, I went to a small art gallery opening in the city. My parents liked art. They took me with them. I didn't know many people there. I stood near a painting, looking at the colors. It was a picture of a quiet sea. Then a man came and stood beside me. He was tall. He had kind eyes. His smile was soft. He looked at the painting too. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" he said. His voice was calm. "Yes," I said. "It makes me feel peaceful." He looked at me then. "My name is Marcus," he said. "I'm Isabella," I replied. We started talking. Not about money. Not about my family. We talked about art. We talked about the sea. He asked me about my favorite books. He asked about my dreams. He listened. He really listened. It felt different. Most men I met talked about cars, business, or my father's company. Marcus talked about feelings, about simple things. He told me he worked for a small company. He said he didn't have much money, but he loved his job. He said happiness was more important than wealth. I liked hearing that. It felt real. It felt honest. We met again the next week. We went for coffee. He took me to a small cafe, not a fancy one. We sat and talked for hours. He made me laugh. I felt comfortable with him. I felt like I could be myself. I didn't have to pretend. I didn't have to worry about saying the wrong thing. He told me I was beautiful. He said it looking into my eyes. He said I had a kind heart. He said he liked my quiet way. My heart felt warm. I started to believe that maybe, just maybe, he liked me, Isabella. Not my family's money. We started seeing each other often. We went for walks in the park. We visited museums. We sat by the river. He never asked me for anything. He never talked about my family's wealth. When we went out, sometimes he paid, sometimes I paid. It felt equal. It felt normal. My parents met him. My father was careful. He asked Marcus many questions about his job, his family, his plans. Marcus answered politely. He seemed respectful. My mother liked him. She said, "He seems like a good man, Isabella. He makes you smile." And he did. I smiled more when I was with Marcus. I felt happy. I felt hopeful. After 1 year, Marcus asked me to marry him. We were sitting on a bench in the park where we had one of our first dates. He took my hand. "Isabella," he said, his voice soft. "I know I don't have much. I don't have a big house or fancy cars. But I love you. I love you for who you are. Will you marry me?" Tears came to my eyes. Happy tears. This was everything I wanted. Someone who loved me for me. "Yes, Marcus," I said. "Yes, I will marry you." We had a big wedding. My parents wanted it. They paid for everything. It was beautiful. Many flowers, music, all our friends and family. I wore a long white dress. Marcus looked handsome in his suit. When he said, "I do," I believed him. I believed we would be happy forever. I thought my dream of a simple, loving life was starting. I was wrong, very wrong. After the wedding, we moved into a beautiful house. My parents bought it for us as a wedding gift. It was smaller than my family home, but still very large and luxurious. Marcus seemed happy. I was happy. The first few weeks felt like a dream. But soon, things started to change. Small things at first. Marcus quit his job. He said he wanted to spend more time with me. He said he wanted to start his own business, something small. I thought it was sweet. I wanted him to be happy. I didn't mind supporting us for a while. We had enough money. My family gave me a generous allowance. Then he started buying things. Expensive things. A new sports car arrived one day. It was bright red. "Surprise," he said, smiling. "For us." "It's beautiful, Marcus," I said. "But how did we pay for it?" "Don't worry about it, my love," he said, kissing my cheek. "Your parents gave us wedding money, remember? And we have your allowance. We deserve nice things." I felt a little uncomfortable. I didn't need a sports car, but I didn't want to argue. I wanted him to be happy. He started going out more often. He said he was meeting people for his new business idea. He came home late. He smelled like expensive restaurants. When I asked about his day, he didn't say much. "Just business meetings," he would reply. He seemed tired, or maybe distant. He started asking about my family's money more often. "How much is your father's company worth?" he asked one day. "Will you inherit everything?" "Why do you ask, Marcus?" I said. "Just curious, my love," he answered quickly. "It's good to plan for our future." His questions made my stomach feel tight. Why was he suddenly so interested in money? Before we married, he never talked about it. He said happiness was more important. One afternoon, I was looking for a pen in his desk drawer. I found a pile of papers hidden underneath some old files. They were bills, credit card bills, loans. They showed Marcus owed a lot of money. Thousands and thousands of dollars. And these debts were from before he met me, before our wedding. My hands started shaking. He told me he didn't have much money. He didn't tell me he was in deep debt. Why did he hide this? That evening, I waited for him. When he came home, I showed him the papers. "Marcus, what is this?" I asked, my voice trembling a little. He looked at the papers, then at me. His face changed. He didn't look soft anymore. He looked annoyed. "Why were you looking through my desk?" he asked sharply. "Don't you trust me?" "I wasn't looking," I said. "I found them by accident. Why didn't you tell me about these debts?" He sighed. "It's old news, Isabella. It's nothing. I was going to handle it." "Handle it how?" I asked. "With my money." He stepped closer. "It's our money now, isn't it? That's what marriage is. We share everything." His words felt cold. Suddenly, I remembered all the expensive things he bought. The car, new clothes, watches. Was he using my money to pay his old debts? I felt confused. I felt hurt. Part of me wanted to believe him. Part of me remembered the kind man who talked about books and dreams. But another part of me felt a knot of fear in my stomach. From that day on, things got worse. He became more controlling about money. He wanted to see all my bank statements. He asked me to transfer large amounts of money to his account for his business. When I hesitated, he got angry. "Don't you support my dreams?" he would say. "Don't you want me to succeed? It's for us, Isabella." He started to criticize me. He didn't like my friends. He said they were snobs, just like my family. He wanted me to spend less time with my parents. He said they interfered too much. I felt isolated. I felt trapped in my beautiful house. It started to feel empty again, just like my childhood home. But this time, it was worse, because I wasn't just alone. I was alone with someone who made me feel small and afraid. I cried sometimes, alone in my big bedroom. I looked at my wedding ring. It felt heavy. Was this love? It didn't feel like the love I read about in books. One night, he came home very late. He had been drinking. He stumbled into the living room. I was reading on the sofa. "Where have you been?" I asked quietly. "Out," he slurred. "Celebrating. My business deal went through." "What business deal?" I asked. I didn't know about any deal. He laughed, a cold laugh. "You don't need to know the details, little rich girl. Just know that soon we'll have even more money. Your father's money." My blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" He walked towards me, unsteady on his feet. Don't pretend you don't know. Why else would a man like me marry someone like you? Your family name, your family money. That's the real prize. I stared at him. His face was twisted. His eyes were hard. It was like looking at a stranger. A cruel stranger. You married me for my money, I whispered. My voice was barely audible. He laughed again. Of course. Did you really think it was for your charming personality? You're naive, Isabella. So easy to fool. The words hit me like stones. Everything crashed down around me. The walks in the park, the talks about dreams, the soft voice, the kind eyes. It was all a lie. A performance. A trick. He didn't love me. He never loved me. He loved my money. I stood up. My legs were shaking. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But I couldn't move. I just stood there, looking at the man I thought I loved, the man who had completely broken my heart. He saw the look on my face. Maybe he realized he had said too much. He tried to soften his tone. Isabella, baby, I didn't mean it like that. But it was too late. I had heard the truth. The ugly, painful truth. He married me for my money. That night, I didn't sleep in our bedroom. I went to one of the guest rooms at the far end of the big house. I locked the door. I sat on the floor and cried. I cried for the love I thought I had. I cried for my broken dreams. I cried because I felt so stupid, so naive. How could I have been so blind? All the signs were there. The sudden interest in money after the wedding, the expensive spending, the lies about his debts, his attempts to isolate me. I had ignored them. I wanted to believe in the fairy tale. I wanted to believe he loved me for me. The next morning, I woke up with red eyes and a heavy heart. But something else was there too. Anger. A cold, quiet anger. He had used me. He had played with my feelings. He had lied to me from the very beginning. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked pale and tired, but my eyes looked different. They looked determined. I would not let him destroy me. I was Isabella. I was stronger than he thought. I didn't go downstairs for breakfast. I stayed in the guest room. I called my father. My voice was shaking, but I told him everything. Marcus's debts before the wedding, his spending, his lies, and what he said last night. My father was silent for a moment. Then he said, his voice firm, "Isabella, I am so sorry. We will handle this. You are not alone." Hearing his voice, his support, made me feel a little stronger. He told me not to confront Marcus again. He said he would talk to our family lawyer. Later that day, Marcus knocked on the guest room door. "Isabella, let me in. We need to talk. I was drunk last night. I didn't mean what I said." I didn't open the door. Go away, Marcus, I said, my voice steady. Don't be ridiculous, he shouted. Open the door. No, I said. He banged on the door for a while, shouting. Then silence. I heard his footsteps walking away. I stayed in the room. I felt scared, but also a little bit powerful. I had said no to him. The next few days were quiet and tense. Marcus tried to talk to me. He tried to apologize. He brought me flowers. He said he loved me, but I saw through it all now. His eyes didn't look kind anymore. They looked calculating. He was trying to fix his mistake, trying to keep his access to my money. I didn't believe him. Not anymore. My father came to the house with our lawyer. They met with Marcus in the study. I stayed upstairs. I didn't want to see him. After a few hours, my father came to me. It's done, Isabella, he said gently. Marcus has agreed to leave. He signed the papers. We made it clear he will get nothing more from you or this family. He just agreed, I asked, surprised. We had evidence of his debts and his deception, my father explained. He knew he had no choice. Fighting would expose him. A wave of relief washed over me. He was leaving. It was over. That afternoon, Marcus packed his bags. He didn't look at me when he walked out of the house. The door closed behind him. And just like that, the man I married, the man who lied to me, was gone. The house felt incredibly quiet, quieter than ever before. But this time, the quiet didn't feel empty. It felt peaceful. It felt safe. The weeks and months after Marcus left were hard. I had to heal my heart. It hurt deeply. Feeling foolish is a painful thing. Feeling betrayed is even worse. I spent a lot of time alone. I read books. I walked in the gardens around the house. I thought about everything that happened. Why did I fall for his lies? Was it because I was lonely? Was it because I wanted love so badly? I realized that my wealth had made me vulnerable. Marcus saw my money as an easy target. He saw my quiet nature as weakness. He thought I would be easy to control. But he was wrong. I found my strength. Maybe I was naive before, but I learned. I learned that trust must be earned. I learned that true love is not about words or gifts, but about honesty and respect. I started doing things for myself. I joined a pottery class. Working with clay felt good. Making something with my own hands felt real. I wasn't very good at first, but I enjoyed it. I started spending more time with my real friends. The ones who liked me before Marcus. The ones who didn't care about my money. They listened. They supported me. They didn't judge me. I also started volunteering at a local animal shelter. Helping the dogs and cats made me feel good. They didn't care if I was rich or poor. They just wanted kindness. Slowly, I began to heal. The pain didn't disappear completely, but it became smaller. It became a scar, a reminder of a lesson learned. I learned that my value is not in my bank account. My value is in my heart, in my kindness, in my strength. The strength I didn't know I had until I was tested. Sometimes people ask me if I will ever trust anyone again, if I will ever fall in love again. I don't know the answer to that yet. Maybe someday. But I know one thing for sure. I will be more careful. I will listen to my head as well as my heart. I will look for honesty and kindness above all else. My big house doesn't feel empty now. It feels like my space, a place where I am safe, a place where I can be myself. This experience was painful, very painful, but it taught me something important. Money cannot buy love, and lies cannot build a life. True happiness comes from within. It comes from knowing yourself, valuing yourself, and building a life based on truth and respect. My story is a warning, maybe. Be careful who you trust. Look deeper than charming words and easy smiles. But it is also a story of hope. Even after being hurt badly, you can heal. You can find your strength. You can build your own happiness. I am Isabella. I come from a rich family. A man married me for my money. He broke my heart, but he didn't break me. I am stronger now, and I am ready to live my life my own way, on my own terms. And you can be strong too. Remember that. You are stronger than you think.